Software engineers are making more money than ever on YouTube. And you don't have to take my word for it. Pretty much every DevTuber has a video where they break down exactly how much they're making. Just type in their account and how much I make, and this was a trend. So in this video, I'm going to show you how much these guys are actually making, how hard it is to grow to something like this when they've been doing it for years, and what you could do to literally get started now and start making money early. But before we even get to that, one of the first questions that I normally get asked is, do I need to be a senior software engineer? Do I need to be a tech lead? Like, I don't think I'm experienced enough, or I don't know my coding language that well. That's just an excuse. And Josh here is a prime example of that. He started making these videos while he was still a student. He didn't even have a job as a software engineer, and he was pulling in thousands of views. It doesn't have to be that you already know the thing. You could be making content while you're learning, so then it's a win-win, because worst case scenario, you're still learning to be a better developer, and best case scenario, you start making some serious money on the side for it. So let's just jump straight into the money shot and see what are these guys actually earning. Mark Liu's a really good example, because his entire content is around products that he makes. And if you're looking on YouTube for videos about how to build an audience using YouTube, you've had that moment where you've realized, oh wow, I can build a SaaS in my spare time, but once you finish it, who's going to buy it? You still have to do the advertising. And you see this feedback loop not just with SaaS products, but even like indie game development now, right? People are making their games by doing developer day in the life videos and, you know, coding my indie game. And then by the end of the year or so it takes to make that game, they've built an audience, so when they ship it, it's not just going to sit on the Steam marketplace with no one looking at it. You've got a few thousand people ready to buy, and you can just see how effective this is by looking at the numbers that this guy does. And it's content that kind of feeds himself. Every time he makes more money, he can just say how many days it's been since he posted it and how much he's made, and he's getting a good amount of views. And if you click on any of his videos, you'll see that those views directly drive you towards the thing that he's selling. So his process is make sales, show how much money he makes from those sales, and the people watching those videos then buy the thing, which means he can then post bigger numbers, which means he gets more views, which means more people buy, and it's just this loop where, I mean, he's doing very well for himself. If you watch any of Mark's videos, you can even just tell from the thumbnails. These are high production, he's putting a lot of time and effort into this, and it's because he's got a lot of money behind him now. He's been a success. And that's why I like to show Cody typically, because what I love about this guy is straight away you can see from the thumbnails, he's not even doing them. He's just showing, right, here's the code, here's a developer clearly talking through it. And the titles are what he's going to talk about. And if you click on any of these videos, it's just him talking about the projects or the things he's doing at work or the things he's learning. No script, just sits down after work, picks what interests him, and he makes a video about it. And he describes his process, and he says that, yeah, it is literally that. He comes up with an idea, sits down and records it, then spends a couple of hours editing it. And you can see that he's doing, I mean, some videos are doing quite well, 40,000 views, but, you know, around about the 5 to 15,000 view mark. And he's not paying a videographer or a producer. This is all just him doing it himself. So if we take a look at how much money he's making, because all of these guys are posting it, you can see that he's doing about 96K before tax. That's a whole $100,000 extra a year on top of his salary, because he's working full-time as a software engineer, just getting in and chatting about it. Now, obviously, it takes a lot of dedication. What Cody's done is very impressive. He's been doing it for years, but it kind of shows you the numbers. I think a lot of people don't realize that actually just for a video as doable as talking about code. If you're a software engineer, you code, you know how to talk about it. This is the kind of money you can be making. So how hard is it to get to, you know, this kind of income? Does it take posting 1,000 videos? No. I'm actually quite a big fan of Cody, and I basically did exactly what his process was. I got in, and if you go back, I've never deleted any of my videos, you can see, but I would just talk generally about the things I was interested in. Some of my videos weren't even code related. I talk about fitness, and with terrible quality and no practice, I grew exponentially to 1.5 thousand subscribers, and it only took me 3 months. But this video is not about how to get thousands of subscribers, it's about how much money you can make. And the amount I made with this was 0. I had a video that did, you know, over 40,000 views. Like, it was going quite well. Normally, to get to 1,000 subscribers, I believe YouTube posted the statistic as it takes 2 years, and you need that to get monetized. So for YouTube to pay you. So if we think about things in terms of views instead of subscribers, you can imagine, so I started a channel, I got these videos that blew up, did quite well, 5,000 views, 10,000 views, 40,000 views, it was over here. And now if you look at my channel, you'll see that my videos are only hovering around, you know, 1,000 to 2,000 views, not a huge amount at all. But if I were to show you what my income has looked like, again, completely flatlined while I was doing the videos that, you know, got views. And then since I started doing videos that are relevant to the service that I provide, which is teaching developers how to build personal brands on YouTube, it did this. And it actually got to the point where I was selling so much of the product that I had at the time that I kind of burnt out. Like, I ended up juggling too many plates. I was doing my full-time job, I was posting videos regularly, which weren't doing many views, but I was making good sales on my mentoring. I was constantly speaking to people. And the number that matters here is basically if you can do this, which is switch your content to drive a product that you make, whether that's a SaaS, mentoring, a game that you've made, etc. In my experience, I find that you can make a sale every 1,000 views. Now, obviously that's going to depend on how expensive your thing is, whether your product is any good, but this is like completely achievable. And if you're a mid-level software engineer or even a senior software engineer, let's take mentoring as an example, you can easily be charging $80 and upwards. So your one video that pops off and does 5,000 views, you've just made 5 sales. So that video's done you $400. And if you don't do mentoring and you sell something that doesn't require your time, again, like a SaaS or a course, then that video alone has done you $400 and you don't have to work anymore. You've just spent an hour making a video, and this is the kind of, and you've made $400. Now, if you were to wait for AdSense to happen, you'd have to be doing what guys like WebDevCoding are doing, which is way higher numbers of views, which you'll get to eventually, sure. But if you want to start seeing income early, this is a completely reasonable strategy because, again, if you do 2 videos, they each do 500 views, odds are by the end of the second video, you're going to have made your first sale. So what do you need to get to this first sale? Well, you've got everything on you right now. If you're a developer, I'm assuming you've got some kind of PC that is powerful enough to record the screen. And I'm also going to assume that you have a mobile phone in your pocket or in front of you right now. Plug the phone into your PC, use that as a camera. You might have to buy a tripod, sure. Okay, so Amazon next day delivery, you can start tomorrow. And just start recording. If you go back to my first videos, just like WebDevCoding, it's just my head, what I was talking about, and you can see my third video, 1.5 thousand views. If I'd known to put a product beneath that at the beginning, that would have made a sale. And that video probably only took me an hour to make because all I was doing was getting in, talking about whatever took my interest, cutting out the silences, and uploading it. The barrier to entry is that low. Now, yes, some of these other videos wouldn't have done as well, but when you start adding it up and then they start picking up, here's one that did 3.7k views. So I probably would have made a few more sales off of that. If you go for a lower ticket thing, you'll probably see more sales for less views, but that's getting too complicated. I think what's most important is that you just start posting. If you want to cut to the chase and you want a blueprint of literally everything you need to start making these kinds of videos in under an hour, if you click the link in the description, I actually sell everything you need to just hit the ground running immediately, which is a quick course under 2 hours that will get you posting videos that are a lot better than you just completely going in with no preparation. Something that allows you to have a rough outline so you're not just going to ramble endlessly. I've also got some Python tools for you to use that will speed up the editing process, and I've even thrown in the templates for the websites I use for the products that I've sold. There's even an option where I'll actually review what you're doing myself and give you help to get started. But if you're not interested in that, no problem. I've actually got a video right here that you can click on that will show you my entire editing process anyway. So go record your first video and then I'll show you how to edit it. Cheers.